we are getting closer to the release of Zenless Zone Zero, we are starting to see a pretty decent side marketing push coming in for the game, especially anymore so that we do have a event coming up on the 28th and the release of the game publicly in early July. If I remember right, I believe July 2nd. And of course, we need to start promoting that type of stuff. But I gotta give credit to Hoyoverse because they are going in a way that, in retrospect, makes sense, but in the moment, a little confusing. And that is, of course, thanks to them of putting out a tweet here talking about how they're gonna be doing a roundtable discussion with Capcom of all people here, and specifically with the director of Street Fighter 6, the producer of Street Fighter 6, and then the producer of ZZZ here. Obviously, we just got like a little tease of this happening, but in return, having it just in general happening right now, start bringing up a very interesting conversation, which is a quote with Hoyoverse. Obviously, they have a quote Genshin, they have honkai, and to be totally honest, Genshin is very much hitting that Legend of Zelda Tales of with gacha. We have honkai, of course, hitting some of the best combat that have seen from RPGs over the years, or example I give it, the combat is very similar to Final Fantasy X combat, which personally I love. But nonetheless, we have, of course, ZZZ here coming in, and this game is nowhere near that, and hitting a whole different demographic, which I guess is just what Hoyoverse do here. And this time, we are very much aiming for the spectacle fighter, character, action, hack and slash type of game, like Devil May Cry, like Bayonetta, a little bit of Nier Automata as well here. And here we are now with them having the discussion with Capcom when it comes to Street Fighter 6. This very much start breeding in for this specifically is, of course, Capcom as a whole, since we all know Capcom have been one of the few companies that have put out a whole bunch of games that kind of fit that, like, character action, spectacle fighter type game with Devil May Cry, of course. And here we are now talking about Street Fighter, and let's be honest, when it comes to Capcom stuff, Street Fighter, and you could say any Devil May Cry here, since Devil May Cry at the end of the day is a character, but with the depthness on the good games anyway, the depthness of something on par with what would be a normal fighting game. So, of course, there's like a little bit of bleed over happening now. And then, of course, with ZZZ coming out and trying to find a market that will hopefully let it fan and live beyond the RPG, waifu collector, Zelda type. And honestly, it makes sense that fighting games would be the next step to go after here, especially with how the combat is for the characters and how the combo system actually work in ZZZ, at least at the time I played it during the preview event from a couple months ago. Capcom does make sense. Capcom make a lot of them games, and also anymore with Capcom right now being where they are with Street Fighter 6 actually being good. We got the Monster Hunter stuff coming, and everything they are doing right now, with a few exceptions, such as the DLC for, Dragon Dogma, but few exceptions aside, is in such a fantastic space, especially in the FGC, and any more so when it comes to just the public people who just enjoy Capcom games. And this right now is obviously one of them crossover events that, once you dwell on it, actually make perfect sense and could honestly bleed into a lot of interesting things. I know we all would want like Dante or Trish or any of the Devil May Cry character to pop up here. And honestly, let's be honest, that stuff would be fantastic because that would pretty much fit in with the universe and the wackiness of ZZZ. But obviously, on the other hand, here is by going after the FGC as well as going after something that is a little bit more, I guess, mainstream right now. Capcom and Street Fighter 6 would be that. And this just showed that Hoyoverse is seeming to wanting to be leaning more into that demographic. Who knows? Maybe they have a fighting game in production somewhere. Who knows? They might be pulling a Wyatt. But nonetheless, when it comes to like the hardcore diehard of Capcom fans, and especially hardcore FGC fans, obviously Capcom have a lot there for them to pull upon, and hopefully this is a fourth step to bring over that community, might it be the FGC community or the Spectacle File Devil May Cry style community as well into the game. And let's be honest with, like I stated, a lot of bleed over do exist with Devil May Cry and Street Fighter in general here. And when it comes to the possibility of crossover, as we all know, every live service game under the sun will do crossover at one point or another. And most of the time, most of the crossover don't make the most amount of sense. Let's be honest here, that is sadly the truth. And then, of course, we have many crossovers that just happen to happen, and you pretty much see them everywhere because they are just on a tour, but traveling around. I'm looking at YouTube. But nonetheless, when it comes to the crossover or the possibility of the crossover beyond that talk, I feel like Capcom is a perfect match here. And honestly, with how kooky Capcom can get, especially once you start bringing in Devil May Cry, Street Fighter, or hell, any maybe God Hand.
Yeah!
Maybe, probably not. Let's be honest, that probably won't happen. But man, that would be exciting if it did. And then not counting all the other stuff that Global did for Capcom, such as Beautiful Joe. A lot of them franchises, I feel, kind of would fit into the over-the-top goofiness that is a ZZZ. And honestly, that could be something that is extremely exciting, not only to get our hands on that type of stuff with the crossover, but also a nice little crossover with the Spectacle Fighter community. Because let's be honest here, we don't exactly have a lot of games, especially in the AAA front, that kind of fall into that demographic beyond, of course, Neo, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta. It would be nice to actually see a game here that will capture that community, because I know it has for me. And that's the main thing I am personally interested in ZZZ, is the combat itself. It's scratching that Devil May Cry itch that I've been desiring for a very long time. You know, we can have a whole discussion about the downgrades of Spectacle Fighter over the years with Devil May Cry and Bayonetta 3, but that's a whole nother discussion altogether. But nonetheless, this is some very interesting news, and I very much hope something more comes of it beyond them having a discussion. Before we know that might boil down to, hey, our combat influenced by Street Fighter or Capcom design in general, and that could be it. Hopefully there's more to this, and hopefully we will start seeing a bigger push for ZZZ and FGC here. And who knows, maybe at some point we could maybe see a fighting game spin-off on this. Since there is a whole bunch of mini games inside ZZZ. Just saying, finger crossed, probably not anytime soon, but still, this is very interesting as far as marketing your game is concerned to actually go after the FGC, especially with how healthy that community is right now, at least on the public end. So, I guess let me know below how exactly you feeling about this. Do you think we're gonna see more, or that it's gonna be nothing more than lip service to being in file buy? Hopefully we see something. We will find out, of course, on June 28th when it comes to the release of a whole bunch of new gameplay and stuff. And then on the 29th when we actually get the release of the full discussion piece. So, knock on wood, hopefully everything will go great here. And who knows, maybe we will see some Cammy and some Chun-Li popping into ZZZ. And we'll probably sell so many pools, let's not kid ourselves. But nonetheless, that is what is happening right now with it. Let me know in the comment how you feeling about this, and are we hoping for that being the beginning of the Renaissance for Spectacle Fighters? Probably won't be, but hold out hope, right? I hope.
Head to the go-go